My name is Doug Paul. I work at Keefe Regional Technical School in Framingham. And I've been coming here for close to 13 years now, which is pretty hard to believe. But when I first moved down from northern New Hampshire to teach in Framingham, I was definitely looking for a piece of rural life as I came into the city to teach horticulture. And when I discovered the farm, I said, I got to build a bridge here. So that's when I met Linda Simpkins, and she had previously been working with the special ed program at Keefe Tech. And I figured it was time for us to try to jump in and build a connection. And so.
What was the first time, like when you first came here, what do you remember, like your first step onto the farm? Like, what did you think when you first got here?
I thought it was great. It actually took me 4 hours north to where I came from. So, which I felt was wonderful to be able to have that here. And also, it was a respite for me. And I wanted the students to have it. I said, yeah, this is something I need to incorporate into our program, because I knew a lot of the kids would really benefit from it, like I knew I would. Our program has grown over the past 13 years, so we've had a major increase in student population, which is great. And we've also noticed we've had a change in students, their interests, and their interests actually, there's a good portion of them now that are interested in growing in organic, the farming, sustainability, that piece. And 13 years ago, we didn't have that. We've had students who primarily took our program for heavy equipment operations. So there's been sort of an evolution and a diversification of what we do. So we still go strong with heavy equipment and landscape maintenance and whatnot, but we've sort of added a growing, gardening piece to it. And we can only do so much on our school grounds because, we're in a city and part of it's allocated to fields, and, a lot of it's ornamental, it's landscape maintenance. And so we've claimed whatever ground we could. But again, it's nice to be able to come here and have this piece for the kids to expand on that. I think the farm, a lot of it changes, the faces change. I've noticed, even just 13 years sounds like a long time, but it's really not. But I do notice that a lot of the people, the faces have changed, the names changed, and but I think it's kind of stayed the same. And I don't know if that's what people want to hear, but I think it's a good thing because it is a connection to a slower pace. Sort of a slower pace around here that I think a lot of people don't have. So yeah, there's a new barn too. Yeah. I really appreciate the maple sugaring operation because when I first came down here, in an effort to sort of diversify our horticultural programming, I was like, well, yeah, we could do a little maple sugaring. So, and reality hit, and the reality is it doesn't work that well with our school schedule. So, at 2 o'clock, I would find myself kind of abandoned at the evaporator, So I knew I had to work something else out, and I did also know that it was happening here, and it's great. It's something that kids otherwise have virtually no exposure to. So being able to come here and just tie into the experience, help when we can help, has worked out great. And I got a gift this year from a graduating senior, and it was a pint of maple syrup that he had done on his own. So he had been inspired through the process here, his experience here, and he's off and running on his own. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it goes to show you the value of what happens here, and the kid is running with it now. I know whenever I come here, I really try to sponge a lot and really try to see, and I'll pick Casey's brain and figure out like what kind of things could really tie into what I'm doing back at the school. So there's definitely a lot of the vegetable growing um, that I see you all are doing great here, doing a fantastic job with it. And I'm like, God, maybe we can take a little bit of that back to the school. And so flowers too. I need to start picking Mike's brain over in the flower patch. The best achievement that I can look back on and say that wow, Keefe Tech and the farm has created would be the co-op experience that now is in place. Um, so I think that's awesome. It was just because so often I would take kids to the farm every week. Oh, can we get a job here? Can we get a job here? I said, oh, we'll see. Because funding's always something that needs to be figured out. And just recently, just this year, it was figured out. The funding was figured out, and we've got 2 students here, and they love it. So I think that's huge. There tends to often be funny things going on, but one that is now coming to my mind is a relationship. One of my students ended up, he loved the pigs. He just absolutely loved the pigs, and every time we would come, can I see pigs? And yeah, of course, yeah, we're going to get some work done first, and you can see the pigs. And our program, we have a culture of nicknames with our students, and they're always nicknames that they like. And this one particular student, we didn't have the nickname yet, and then one day after he visited his pig, he said, Mr. Paul, I think you can call me Pork Chop. so so I said, you know what, I am going to call you Pork Chop. And that has stuck. And he actually even started his own little landscape company called Pork Chop's Landscaping.
No way.
Yeah, I'm not quite exactly sure where it is now, and I have a mug that says Pork Chop Landscaping. I just think it's great that, first of all, this place exists. The land is secured. It is what it. I know a lot goes into that process. The nonprofit status and everything. It's great. And just the fact that it is, and it is here, and it's open to the community. I love how people can, it's sort of an open door policy. You can come in. I assume it's just during business hours, but on a farm, what are business hours, right? Um, but no, I think it's great that it is. It is here, and people are able to come, and I know that some of my students have actually, I believe they've come here with their families, after they've spent the time here, and they're fired up about it, they're excited about it, and they go home, and then their families will come, and they are welcomed, and that's huge. So I don't know. I just think it's a good thing. It's a good place, and it provides a great connection with nature and food for people who otherwise may not have that connection. Don't change. Just kind of keep it going. Continue to have good people. I think that's one of the huge assets of this place is that it always seems to have good people. So keep having good people around, and don't change too much.